Hi, everybody. Dan Illman and Mike Beer, the DRF race of the day for Wednesday, March the 6th. Kicks off a 50-cent pick four at Tampa Bay Downs. Race number 6 is a $20,000 claimer. 3-year-olds going 7/8 of a mile. Let's take a look at this field. We've got 8 entered in here. The number 2, Dr. Bader, your 2-to-1 morning line favorite. Shipping up from Gulfstream Park. A little bit of class relief could go a long way for a tactical gelding.
Seems like a better spot for this horse. Both he and the second favorite on the morning line, the horse drawn to the outside there, Dan, Bahamian Native. They're both dropping in class here. Feels like in the right kind of spot.
The good news about Dr. Bader, he can be anywhere his rider wants him to be. We'll see where Gallardo could have him, according to the Timeform US pace projector. In a race that favors front runners, Dr. Bader could be sitting 4th. He might be closer if the pace is really slow. Jiggery Pokery turns back in distance after blasting off and going too fast in an off-turf 2-turn race. He's quick enough to make the lead, and Bahamian Native has a nice outside attack post.
Yeah, I thought the two favorites both had enough tactical speed to get the right trip here. I think the 7 furlong distance is pretty important in this race, Dan. I think it really could come into play. And maybe that helps the 3 just enough here. Jiggery Pokery cutting back could really help this horse if he makes a lead.
If the pace is hot, keep an eye on the 6, Le Mistral, who has the fastest Timeform US late pace rating. We'll start things off with the number 1, Tap the Sky, and we'll take a look at his most recent start. Going 2 turns over Gulfstream's Tapeta surface. He was involved in the pace throughout, pushing it from the inside. He just gets a little bit leg weary at the end. The good news is he went synthetic to dirt to win his only prior victory. That was at FanDuel, however.
Yeah, and it was a really slow race. Also on a sloppy track. His other dirt start, which came 2 starts back here at Tampa Bay, going this distance. I don't know about you. I didn't think that he ran that well in that race. I appreciate cutting back could help him here, but I want to see a dirt race of his that I like, and I don't see one.
Listed as a first-time gelding for New Connections. He was running for Owen Hardy and his breeder Calumet Farm, possibly a private purchase. He gets a lot of weight off with a 10-pound apprentice aboard. The runner-up from that last race we just saw came back to place in a $16,000 synthetic race at Gulfstream with a 55 buyer. Dr. Bader, they tried blinkers with him last time out, and he seemed really keyed up with them. He pushed a hot pace before tiring. His prior start without the blinkers at Gulfstream, though, was a good effort, Mike. They stepped him up into a starter optional claiming race, and he ran a solid second.
Yeah, I thought he ran well in that race too. And it's a race, with the horse that he couldn't catch there, who won it, would probably be a pretty heavy favorite in this race too, Dan. He was only second best there. I really liked his maiden one. I know it was a class drop 3 starts back. It was going this distance, though. He did not get a great trip in that race. And I still thought he ran a really nice race that day to get the job done.
The last time Jiggery Pokery sprinted at Tampa Bay was 3 starts back. It resulted in a maiden victory. They shipped him down to Gulfstream where the competition is steeper, and he didn't seem to like that. And then they stretched him out around 2 turns where he was very eager and aggressive, and I think that distance was a little far for him. He cuts back. He's speed in a race that doesn't have a lot of it. Maybe he's interesting at 10-to-1 or so.
Yeah, I would look at him that way too, especially if he's some kind of big price. I don't really love any of his other races, but man, just the way that he ran last time and now cutting back in distance into this field where maybe he makes the lead again, I think that makes him a little interesting.
Code Enforcer, the number 4, might have some angles going for him. The last time he went turf to dirt and route to sprint, it resulted in his maiden win at this 7/8 of a mile distance at Tampa Bay Downs. They tried a tough group of winners, $75,000 optionals, didn't get a lot of pace to attack in that race and didn't make an impact. And then back to turf last time. So this company and this distance seems to work for him.
Yeah, agreed. I think he ran pretty well in that only sprint race so far. It didn't come back that fast. I don't love that he doesn't really have any speed, Dan. I think that could really work against him in this race, but I don't mind them cutting him back and switching him to dirt again.
Mr. Ramirez, the number 5, is a very interesting entrant. This horse last ran at Delta Downs, going 6.5 furlongs. We'll take a look at that video right now. And Mr. Ramirez showed good speed in this race. He is well off the rail, turning for home. He keeps on going. Now, while he did earn a career best buyer speed figure in this race, it was only a 45. And looking at the horses he beat, this looks like a pretty steep step up in class.
Exactly. He's still really lightly raced. Maybe he'll take another step forward here. He's improved with every start so far, Dan. He's just going to have to improve again. That was an okay win that we just watched, but I don't think it's anything to get too excited about.
While the favorites have tactical speed, the number 6, Le Mistral, is going to be hoping for some pace up front because this horse just looks like a confirmed front runner. He's going to be moving route back to sprint, and he seems like he has a bit of a kick at these shorter distances. The question, though, is whether he gets the right pace setup. To me, 9-2 seems a little light.
Yeah, I didn't want that price on him either. But listen, I don't think there's at least some kind of chance that this race sets up okay for this horse. And he has run fine in all of his dirt starts so far. I mean, I didn't really want to take a deep closer in this race. And if I was going to take one, I would probably take the 4 Code Enforcer. But we'll see. This horse, he might catch the right kind of setup here.
The 7 Sa put it all together last time out, his third career start, but his first with Lasix. Let's take a look at it right now, going 5.5 at Tampa Bay Downs. He's in between horses right now. He's going to Forge Clear as the favorite, so he's stepping up in class and distance, but another horse with good tactical ability.
I can see him getting a decent trip in this race, Dan. I just don't really love any of his 3 races so far, and just felt like, right off of his maiden win here, stretch it now from 5.5 to 7. I just felt like there was a lot working against him.
The number 8 Bahamian native began his career going 2 turns on turf at Tampa Bay in his first 2 starts. Don't think he really cared for that. Immediately when they switched him to the dirt, he was a sprint winner in his third lifetime start. Last time out, he was in against Tougher. There was a horse shipping up from Gulfstream Park that won that race. Maybe Bahamian native gets a bit of class relief here. His tactical speed puts him in good stead.
Yeah, it could be a good trip coming for him here. I didn't really have a big argument against him. I actually liked his maiden win 2 starts back. He did a lot of hard work chasing the pace in there, and he stayed on pretty nicely.
Before we get to our top selections, please click the subscribe button on the Daily Racing Form YouTube channel for the latest DRF videos. Top pick time for our Wednesday race of the day. It kicks off a 50-cent pick 4 at Tampa Bay Downs. We have the same idea, just in slightly different order. You're going 2-8, I'm going 8-2.
Couldn't find the interesting bigger price in the race there, and I like Dr. Bader. I think this is a good spot for him, and I like the 7 furlongs for him. I tried to get to Code Enforcer. He's 10-1 on the line. I'll try to use him somewhere, but I didn't like him enough.
A Bahamian native, I think, needs to be just aggressively handled a little bit, getting out of the stalls to sit second or third with a clear run. He should be right there turning into the stretch. 2-8-4-6 for Mike, 8-2-1-3 for me. It's Wednesday's DRF race of the day, the 6th at Tampa Bay. Best of luck.